Hey guys, Matty SRT here. Got another upload for you. So today what I'm going to be doing is I have gotten the Z Automotive auxiliary buttons that come for Challengers, Durangos, Chargers. And what all it is if you get a Durango Challenger or a Challenger that has the adaptive cruise control, usually these cruise control buttons right here have like the things that are set out on it on what they do. But if you don't have that on your vehicle, which I don't here on my Durango SRT, these are just play buttons. They don't push in or nothing. They're just blank. But there are buttons behind them that work. And what you can do with your Taser is replace these buttons and get ones that actually push in, so that way you can hotkey it or hot button it to a certain feature. So for instance, if I want to force it into rear-wheel drive only, I can hit this button right here and boom, I'm set. I don't have to go to the settings with the hitting the cancel button and going on the screen and trying to figure out and hit the setting and then have to go back in there and switch it back to all-wheel drive. I can put this button for rear-wheel drive and then put this button to where it forces it back to all-wheel drive, and then this button I can set for like a light show that I want right away. I can just say, hey, boom, because there's another shortcut for a light. I could put the high beams on, hit this top button, and it goes through my things. But if I hit this one, it goes straight to it, and I can hit it again, it goes off. So it's just a little easier thing to do. But to get these things off on here, it's real simple. You just got to get some pry tools. I got a kit of these pry tools from Walmart that come with these and a whole bunch of other things, and I used them when I did my light installations here on the Durango. Like, there's the regular maps, right? But then I also replaced these map lights. If you look on an earlier video, I'll put a link on it right here below on the thing for you. Just check it out. Okay, but basically I'm going to use just a straight pry tool, and the best way to do this is that you just kind of have to force it a little bit right here, and all you got to do is get it underneath. Once it's underneath, you just pop it up and boom, there you go. This thing comes out all in one piece, so you can kind of see exactly how it looks. Now if you look here, here's the buttons that go in there. So you have 3 particular buttons now. So what I can do is my little pack I got here from Z Automotive, I can open those puppies up, and then all I gotta do is just match them up and put them in there, and then voila, I have a hot button install. So I'm gonna go ahead and figure these out real quick. I'll put them in and then I'll show you the final product. All right, so I got the middle one in first. I figured I'd do the middle one just because it seemed easier. And believe it or not, they look the same as far as what direction you need to turn it, up or down. But there is a certain way, because I put this in the other way and I tried to push it in and it wouldn't go. And then I turned it over and then here, it went right in, snapped in, and then now look, see? I now have a button. I know you can't tell, but I now have a button that pushes in. So here I got another corner piece, and the thing is, does that corner piece go right here? Or if I turn it upside down, does that corner piece go here? So what I'm going to go ahead and do, let me go ahead and try it up on this top one and see if it fits. Oh, yep, it fit. Now I got a button. So that means that this third one that I have here should automatically go in there and snap right in. Yep, it did. There we go. So check it out. I now have 3 working buttons. So now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can assign them to a particular function on the Taser. All right, so I just turned on my Durango. Now I put it to run, okay, but I did not start the engine. And the reason for that is that some of these settings you have to do while the engine is on the run, or I'm sorry, the button's on run, but the engine's off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my cancel and back arrow button. And if you look here on the menu, when I do that, actually I got to go down to audio. I apologize, I forgot about that. So we'll go down to the audio. There we go. Back button, cancel. And there we go. Now it says light show. So now what I can do is I can hit OK on my thing here. And I'm going to put that. So it's going to do light show 5, which I know is one I don't want. I want light show 6. Which does a flashy one, and what I want to do is I'm going to put that here on this button. So we'll see if that works. All right guys, so I did want to just also show you here If you look at their website, as far as what you can do with these remapping of the buttons, as they call it, on there, here are some of the options that they do have on there. I don't know how good that's going to come out, but these are the options that you can do on the button remap. So what I went ahead and do is I did that light show on the outer button on there, but these are the other things I can do. So I'm going to set one to do the force rear wheel drive, and then I think the other thing I might do is see if I can get the line lock to go ahead and work on there. But I want to see if there's an option to put it back to all-wheel drive, because if I force rear wheel drive, I want to be able to go back to all-wheel drive when I need, you know what I mean? So we'll see how that works out here in just a second. All right, thanks. All right, so to go ahead and get this set up to work for the forced rear wheel drive, I do need to have the motor on. So as you can probably hear and see on my RPM gauge and listen, I do have the motor on. So what I'm going to do is hit my back button and my cancel button here, and you'll see once I do that, I'm back in the menu. So I don't want light show, don't need to worry about the radio, dark mode. And what I'll do is I'll do a separate video on all the features of the Taser here. But just for now, let's see, I don't need to worry about the engine or the transmission. Power mode, red key, not needed on the Durango. Track kill on, start stop on, start driving custom. That's a problem I need to work on. Something that Taser needs to fix is I haven't set the drive to go to custom when I start my vehicle up automatically. But if you look here, when my vehicle starts up, it still goes to auto mode and it leaves the paddles on. I still have to hit custom on there. So we'll see what Z Automotive can do to fix that particular issue. But let's see, I don't need to start custom, so we'll go to video, no. Auto fold for the mirrors, no. All-wheel drive normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this bottom button here, and I'm going to set it to no function. It doesn't want to do that. Why not? Force rear wheel drives. That's what I want, force rear wheel drive. So I'm going to push, hold. Oh, I see what it is. So every time I hit the button, I have to actually program it to the actual thing. So I have to hit the button to where I want this button to do. Oh, I see. So I go through the settings there. If you guys can see that, here I'll put the camera a little bit higher. So aux video, I don't need that. Line lock, no. ESP kill. Launch mode, I can already do. Custom drive, sport, track, cool down, force rear wheel drive. There we go. So I can let go and get off the menu, and then that should do that on there. Give me a moment, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. I'm learning this as I'm doing it, guys, so I apologize. I passed it there accidentally, my bad. But I did see one thing on there that did say force all-wheel drive, so there is an option to do. There we go. So force rear-wheel drive. Boom. Okay. So now the last thing I'm going to do is this button. I'm going to go ahead and put that to force back to all-wheel drive. And actually what I'll probably do is I'll actually switch the two. I'll put this one for the rear-wheel drive, and then this one goes back. That way the center button always is like my default, if that makes sense to you. So let's go ahead. Go through the menus. Force rear wheel drive, boom, okay. Now this one, I'm gonna go ahead. Oops, I missed it there. I'll go back. Force all wheel drive, there we go. That way it puts it back on there. All right, cool. So there we go, guys. I have it out. I'm gonna go ahead and check these out on the road. Last I had checked on here though, I know it's daytime right now, you won't be able to see the light show too much here, but what I'm going to probably go ahead and do is, there we go, I gotta reset up my custom mode here again. But I'm gonna hit this button, and if you look at my dash, see how the turn signals are kind of flashing? That's my certain mode that I got. And I have my coworker's car here next to me. In the reflection there, right behind the front tire, you can kind of see on the door panel, my lights are flickering on there. So it does seem to be working. And when I hit the button again here, it does turn them off. So that's a good sign for me to see. All right, guys, that's it for this one here. But that's how you install the auxiliary buttons and also how you program it to your Taser. Like I said, I will link a video or do a video here shortly and put it in the description once I do a full feature review of the Taser, because they did come out with a software update about 2 weeks ago, and I did get that updated on here. So they do have a couple of cool new features that don't really necessarily help me per se, but they could for other people. So we'll get into that later. But thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.